Nice first start, first game. It was nice to truthfully see the guys back in State Farm Center, place that and I'm so proud of our fans selling out, our students, the Orange Crush, in 26 minutes. There's nothing like playing here. So I'm excited for our guys. There was a anxiety level, a sense of nerves to be in here for the first time. Obviously, the exhibition at Old Miss was a different experience going on the road, but saw a lot of really good things. I'm going to start with Kylan Boswell's on-ball defense in the first half. I thought was fabulous. I thought it stymied them. It controlled the tempo, forced them out of what they wanted to do. I thought that was spectacular. I thought, obviously, Dre Gibbs, Lawhorn doing what he does, just get a bucket. And his first half was really impressive. Great looks, got fouled, got on the offensive glass, a little bit of everything. And then I thought Tommy was really kind of the dominant offensive figure in the first half, and both on the glass, running stuff to him. You saw a little bit of his passing ability. But again, he had a tough night shooting it, which is something he has been doing at a very high clip. So, if he throws a couple of those in, it's a different, really a big night for him. But the second half I thought was a little bit better. I thought the one thing I thought the first half, we missed a lot of good looks that we normally make, but we got 50% of our misses back, and that was a positive. And then Merez defensively, 6 blocks, tied a freshman record. And then obviously you guys got to see a little bit of what we get to enjoy quite often in Will Riley on a heater. And hard shot maker, wasn't like they weren't guarding him, and he's just got that gift. And so it was a nice first night. We did a lot of things positive. I thought our tempo, other than we had a little, I think Bam had a couple back-to-back turnovers, so I thought we did a much better job of taking care of the ball. But KJ, that's KJ. You look at his stat line, and he just stuffed it. And they trapped ball screens. He's gonna play out of it. Wasn't a big night for him shooting the ball, but 7 assists, 2 turnovers, handling the ball all the time, 5 rebounds. Pretty good debut. I apologize for the cough.
Brad, you mentioned you get to see it often. How often does that happen with Will, and when does he get in that zone? What is key for him?
I don't know, about every day. Yeah, he's just got a gift. It's he was our leading scorer in the Butler scrimmage. He was a guy that competes. He enjoys it. He is, when he gets 1 or 2 going, it's so many ways. He understands. He got the foul line. It was offensive rebounding. It was 15-footers. It was threes off the dribble. It's a little bit of everything. So he's not just, hey, we're going to do this one thing and stop him. He's got a pretty full package.
Brad, 2 things on Tommy. Just in that first half, Marty mentioned about how good of a passer he was, especially in the first half. Just his skill along with his size, is that going to be a unique thing? And 2, when he's on the floor, it seemed like you were, I don't know how to say this, but giving him crap as he was walking off the floor, or what? Did you think it was serious when he was getting carried off?
I always think things are a little serious, but I saw him smile, so I knew he was tired. And, then he told me the real reason was he had to go to the bathroom. So with Tommy, there's always a little sense of that. But he's a terrific passer. He's got an extremely high basketball IQ. His feel allows him to do and make others better. You can run a lot of offense through him. He's so efficient. And just in terms of his numbers, we didn't get him a lot of looks tonight, other than the three. Got 10 shots, but he's going to make 3 or 4 of those threes almost every night. And if not, he can bounce it, and he threw a nice pass off the dribble. So yeah, his passing's pretty special.
Brad, I know you saw Will have a similar display in the EYBL this spring. What does it say about him to come in here to a new level and do that in his first real game? How similar are those two?
I don't think he cares. I don't think it matters for him. He's different. Will's got a different passion, motivation for the game than a lot of people. He's just got a gift that he gets lost in the world he's in. I saw that a lot with Michael Beasley, and I'm not trying to compare him to Mike, but you just play, and Will does that. He just plays the game the right way, and when he gets on one, you just want to keep feeding the monster, and it's fun to watch.
Brad, obviously defense struggled a little bit at Ole Miss. How do you feel like you progressed coming in this one?
Well, we actually guarded the ball. I mean, we actually sat down today and guarded. We were atrocious in that exhibition game. We had no grit. We had no fight. If you ask what our identity was, it might be a lot of things that weren't very positive. So we've really had to get back after that. And, the Eastern's a good team. Marty does a great job, and those guys shoot a ton. They're in ball screens maybe as much as any team in the country. And they're going to shoot a ton of mid-range pull-ups. And it was a great night for us to believe that, yes, they're going to hit a few. But over the course of 40 minutes, it gets really hard to do that. And I thought our rear view contests were good. I thought our communication, which is something we've been harping on from day one, was really good. It was nice to see the freshmen out there talking, but Kylan does a tremendous job of that. He's a quarterback out there.
Coach, do you like how KJ can push the pace, especially in the second half? Seems like that's a big part of getting into the offense and creating scoring opportunities.
Yes. And, I think it's one of the transitions that KJ's going through. In Europe, they play, there's maybe a little more sets involved. But on misses, we got to go. And I didn't think in the first half we did a great job of running, especially our wings. But KJ excels in the open court. And, if you're open and you run, guys are starting to figure out he'll get you the basketball. So we'll keep growing in that area, but I love that aspect of his game.
What's Dre maybe done in the last month or last couple of weeks that he played well at Ole Miss, and then tonight maybe played one of his better games as well?
No, I think it goes back to the work he started last spring towards the end of the season, and I think that I was gaining a lot more confidence in him. He had problems staying out of foul trouble in a lot of games. So his stints were a little shorter, so it was hard to see that offense get going. But then you get an off-season of work, which he works. He's put the time in. He's changed his body with Fletch, and now you get, that, to sound very cliche, freshmen become sophomores, and he's confident. He's defending without fouling. He's impacting the game on that end just as much as he is on the offensive side. So turned into a really, really nice player.
Brad, what went into Ty's decision to redshirt, and how does that impact your team?
Yeah, I think the one thing about young people is they have goals. They have things they want to try to reach. I think it was an opportunity that he felt and we felt that he could continue to grow. in terms of his game offensively. There's not a sweeter, and I use that term, nicer young man, kind heart, good human being, does everything right, will be a coach to these guys, but just has some areas of his game that he wants to continue to work on, and we support that, and development is what we've hung our hat on in this program, and he knows he's got a great group of coaches to help him do that, and it's always a loss when you lose a guy who started every game off a Elite Eight team, and I always say this about Ty when I'm asked about him, he's a winner. You don't have to look at the box score. All you have to do is look at the wins and the losses, and whether it was his AAU team, whether it was his high school teams, or what he's done here for 2 years, he just wins. So we're going to need his voice. We won't have him on the court, but we're going to have his voice in terms of helping guys develop and grow in the locker room.
Can you walk us through a timeline for when it kind of became clear to you that this was his path?
No, I mean, it's been something that I don't know if there is one. I think there's conversations that happen. I think there's you understand how much time he's spent in the off season. I think there's a lot of things. I don't know if there's a specific timeline, to what this is, but it's just something that we've talked about here before the start of the season and through the exhibitions for last 3 or 4 weeks and since practice has started, and I think he's excited about the next step and in his development, as I am as well.
So, Brad, you always speak about how well a coach that Marty is. How do these matchups help prepare the team?
Well, 2 things. One, Marty's won a ton of games throughout his career, and his teams are going to execute. And from an execution standpoint, they make you have to defend them. They make you guard them. They run, 2 or 3 actions that they got baskets on. We've got to learn to handle those better. I made a comment to Orlando and Zach on the bench. I said that's something we haven't worked enough on, and we got to get back to that. And but his teams always play hard. It's one of the top defensive teams in their conference. They will be again. They force a ton of turnovers, and it's a great appreciation for Marty, and of course we've got a lot of connections over there. It's close. Tom is one of us, and so it's just a great opportunity for us to play them. We benefit as well as I think they do.
Brad, you scored 110 of your 112 points either in the paint from 3 or at the foul line. Is that about as good as you can do?
Where were the other
Will
2?
hit a pull-up too, I think. At the
God
end. He was on a heater. So.
I'll have to run him. That's all we talk about: threes, layups, or paint shots, and we place a. It's crazy because you're going to ask me to explain it, and I can't. We play a shot selection game which has completely different scoring than the game of basketball does, based on where you shoot the shots and how you get them, and it's making players aware of those good and bad shots. And tonight was, I don't know, 46 free throws, 42 threes. I hope we have a night where we have 50 point attempts and make 25 of them. It's what this team is made to do and what we're trying to help them do. And again, we shot poorly in the first half, and numbers are pretty good.
Coach, how would you describe Morez Johnson's rebounding prowess, and how important is that going to be for you when you get into the heart of the season?
Huge. Morez is a gifted rebounder. He's got a nose for the ball. He chases it. He's extremely physical. Morez's lower base is extremely strong, so he doesn't bump easy. He's always on balance when he goes to rebound. and I think I might be mistaken. I think he holds USA Basketball's record for the most rebounds in a game with USA Basketball. But you see his versatility, his athleticism. He has the ability to go block shots. He has the ability to go grab rebounds above the rim. And that's something, I'll be very honest, we haven't had. So excited for his development and what his future holds.
Hey, Coach, with all these new guys, you're going to need leaders. How important is it for the new players to see the lone returner now in Dre not only be an improved scorer, but just hustling everywhere, the effort? It seems like he's breaking a sweat as soon as he steps on the court.
Yeah, the best thing about Dre is, and I appreciated this so much about Dre last year, when he wasn't playing, he is genuinely happy when others succeed. And that is so contagious. I love that about Dre. And, you know, he's the cheerleader. All of our guys in our locker room know how hard he works and how much time he puts in. So that translates. You know, he's an easy guy to root for because he's everything that we're about. And, yeah, my hat's off to him because he's put in the work. He's seeing the rewards now, and it's just he's about the right things.
Brad, a year ago you were talking about Sincere going down the development path, and obviously he didn't end up staying here. Is it difficult when you expect a guy in a certain role, and then with the red shirt, there's no guarantee you'll have them the following year?
Yeah, it's the world we're in. It's the world we're in. I think he's an Illini. I think he's our guy. He's we love Ty to death, but our world doesn't have any guarantees now, and so we'll do everything that we can do within our power to to help him be as successful as he can be, and there's no rhyme or reason to anything, but we sure hope he's an Illini.
With like 3 or 4 minutes left, you were able to empty the bench out. Is there a reason Jason didn't end up getting on the court?
No, we're approaching that red shirt topic with him as well, and so we don't want to put him in a stressful situation with that.
Brad, you mentioned the 46 free throws. It seemed like last year that was dictated by whether or not TJ got to the line or not with your team. This year is 30, 35 a night realistic because of the 5 you can put out there?
I hope so. I hope it's, I think that, I'll be honest, one of my big worries in the offseason is how do we replace 287 free throw attempts by Terrence Shannon. Those were a lot of points. That led to a lot of efficiency. I think that every game is different, but I do think that living in the paint, attacking the rim, keeping the floor spaced, being able to attack closeouts, all of those things are vital to our success offensively, and getting fouled is something we work really hard on. We think it's a really good thing. Thanks, guys.